there were no survivors. In breaking news, the war between Texas and Mexico is coming to an end. Reports indicate that a major battle is happening at San Jacinto in southern Texas. We go now to live news reporter Bo Litz in the middle of the battle.
Reporting live from the Battle of San Jacinto. We are the only news station here because we are actually the only news station that exists. So anyways, as we first reported, the Texas War between Texas and Mexico began in October of 1835 with the Battle of Gonzales. The smaller Texan army won small skirmishes towards the beginning of the war, but the Mexican army soon retaliated with great force under the great Mexican leader Santa Anna. The Mexicans massacred hundreds of Texans in the Battle of the Alamo and the Battle of Goliad. As you can see, there is still a ton of fighting at the moment.
Remember the Alamo! Viva la Mexico! Die!
So Bo, how do you believe that this war has changed the relationship between Texas and Mexico?
When people first came to Texas, things were good for both parties. Tensions began to arise when the Mexican Congress passed a law banning slavery throughout the Mexican Empire. Texas' economy thrived on the work of slaves, mostly because of cotton and other crops. Texas, in an attempt to keep their slaves, wanted to declare independence from Mexico.
Now that the war is coming to an end, Mexico and Texas' relationship will be nearly non-existent. Thomas, how do you think this war has changed the view of the American people as a whole?
I believe this will make the American people look greedy and uncompromising for the future. It will also bring to light the lack of human rights in America and our misguided view of what equality is.
This land we live in was founded on the backs of great men. Our sole responsibility is to carry on that tradition. We have turned into hypocrites as we fight with who should be our neighboring brothers.
That's correct, Bo. We should be mending our relationships with countries such as Mexico. Our government is consubstantial as it works as a whole, made up of many different sectors to work for America's prosperity.
This war is sure to change the view of the USA as a whole for a few reasons. First of all, the Texans, who were U.S. citizens, were given refuge in Mexico, and instead of trying to cohabit with the Mexican people and government, they rebelled because of one change. This makes American people seem untrustworthy, which could lead to other countries to break alliances with the U.S. Secondly, other countries, who really do believe in freedom for all, will look at us as an example of what not to do. The fact that our country is so plagued and possessed by the idea of slavery surely shows that we are not the pious country that everyone thinks that we are. Finally, the war did give the U.S. one good perception. We should show other countries that even a small, untrained army could defeat a large empire's force. This will keep other countries from thinking twice about going to war against us.
Those are some excellent points, Thomas. I especially think that the second point emphasizes the moral and ethical issue of slavery and its dominance in our culture. Ever since slavery first came to America, it has been a heated issue in politics and in the minds of the general public. This war shows that the issue that slavery brings is far from solved and that people will always fight for what they believe, which could lead to violence in the future in our own country.
Sorry to interrupt, but we are getting some breaking news from Bo in the field. Let's get back to him now.
Yes, guys, that is right. War seems to be coming to a compromise. The fighting has decreased immensely. We have word that the Mexicans and Texans might be signing a treaty within the next month or so.
Well, that is great news.
That's all we have for you today. Join us again tomorrow for more updates. Have a good night.